In 1999, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was released for the Nintendo 64, PlayStation, and Dreamcast, and Game Boy Color, and N-Gage. And it was a major success. Commercially, yes, but also critically, receiving an unsurmountable amount of 10 out of 10s, praising the game's pick-up-and-play nature, as well as being a fun game with great controls. And I couldn't agree more. I really enjoy the Tony Hawk games. The gameplay of linking together unreal trick combos and going for the high score make for my ideal type of game. But this video isn't about Tony Hawk Pro Skater. On September 13th, 2000, just 6 days before Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 released, MTV Sports Skateboarding featuring Andy MacDonald was published by THQ for PlayStation and Windows, with the latter being the version we will look at today. These versions of the game were developed by a game studio known as Darkblack, founded in the United Kingdom in 1998. What games are they known for? Oh. After publishing 2 games and trying to develop a few more, they ran out of money, went defunct in 2002, started a new company in 2003 called Hothead Animation, where they tried to continue work on one of their games from Darkblack, known as Asylum, now called Shadow of the Sun. Unfortunately, they were without a publisher and they ran out of funding again and went defunct again in 2003. The same year they were founded. But anywho, that's more than you need to know. Let's get back to Darkblack's magnum opus. Well, I mean, one of these has to be their magnum opus. Just from one glance at the cover, you can automatically tell that this game is biting what the Tony Hawk games had on their covers. The celebrity skateboarder being front and center and all the warm, saturated colors. But hey, let's not judge a game by its cover. Sure, maybe they copied the gameplay formula and the marketing and, well, everything. But maybe it's a good copy. Maybe it even serves as a fun alternative to the Tony Hawk experience. Starting up the game, we're treated with an awesome intro like in the Tony Hawk games, accompanied by some kick-ass music of course, which I can't play, but just pretend Deftones is playing throughout this video. Anyways, the main menu uses this revolving design, which is kinda cool, but who cares about that, I just want to get into the game. Selecting single player brings us to the game modes we can play. To start, I'll go with freestyle, just to play around and get used to the game. I selected Andy MacDonald in hopes it would give me an advantage, and now, let's start. Wait, what are the controls? Back to the menu, and here they have an option to look at the controls. And thank goodness, because I don't have the manual. Well, let's learn these controls. Anyways, I should at least be able to pull off a trick or two, so let us jump back into freestyle. Let's do this! I'm still not tricking. Believe me, I'm pressing the trick buttons and ollieing, and nothing's happening. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Oh my god, I did a trick! I did a trick! I couldn't tell you how I did it or what I did different for the life of me, but we can at least rule out the possibility that the programmers forgot to add tricks to their skateboarding game, which I wouldn't put past them. That being said, they might as well have forgotten to program them, because they suck. I'm pretty much mashing all the trick buttons as much as I possibly can, but they either don't register at all, or they're so delayed and sluggish that they happen too late. Not only are the tricks so slow, but when you wipe out, it takes what feels like an eternity to get up. It's gotta take 3, maybe even 4 seconds to get back up. I'm being a bit dramatic, but honestly, considering how often you'll be bailing, those 3 or 4 seconds really add up. Another big flop with the tricks is grinding. Grinding in Tony Hawk is an essential mechanic if you want to string together big combos, and MTV Skateboarding probably has the best controls out of any of the tricks. Which isn't saying very much, because while entering and exiting grinds is alright, staying balanced is not. So most of my gameplay is just jumping off half pipes over and over with the occasional flip trick. Free play is pretty much how it sounds. It's a free skate mode where you can practice your tricks and pull off sick combos, or at least try to. That's all fun and good. Well, maybe not fun. Or good, but it is something. Anyway, I'm personally ready to move on to greater things. And greater things come with the next game mode, Lifestyle, serving as the career mode. And in the first level, or mission of sorts, you're invited to some guy named Murphy's Playhouse, which sounds fantastic, and you have to achieve a score of 6.0 or higher to proceed. That doesn't mean 6 points, by the way. That'd be kinda wacky. You have to just skate well enough and get rated a 6.0. You can get a higher rating by pulling off sick combos and just generally staying on your board. Sounds great! Yeah, this didn't go very well. But to be fair, I felt like at some points I was doing alright. I mean, I was bailing more often than not, my tricks weren't executing how I wanted, but I was still getting a good amount of points, but these judges are mean! So, try as I might, I couldn't beat the first level. I promise I'm not that bad at video games. Alright, next game mode. One of these has to be fun. High score mode. You're given a high score and you have to beat it. If you remember what happened last game mode when I was given a score to beat, yeah, it didn't go very well. Maybe if I was locked in a basement and forced to play this game for the rest of my days, I could get good. But, as of now, no. I'm unfortunately not good at MTV Sports Skateboarding featuring Andy MacDonald. I admit it, okay? I am not good at MTV Sports Skateboarding featuring Andy MacDonald. I wish I was good at MTV Sports Skateboarding featuring Andy MacDonald so I get the full MTV Sports Skateboarding featuring Andy MacDonald experience, but no, okay? I'll never be good at MTV Sports Skateboarding featuring Andy MacDonald for as long as I live. I gave it a few more tries, but it ain't happening. Well, let's move on to the next game mode, MTV Hunt. This is, of course, copied from the Tony Hawk games, which have missions where you have to collect Tony Hawk logos or letters or videotapes, but here it's a whole mode having you collect 10 MTV logos. And thankfully you don't have to track down 10 logos, there's about 20 or so scattered around and you just need to get 10 of them. Now this should be something easy for the game to do, as you don't need to do any tricks to achieve the goal. So I got the first 3 logos, which were very easy, and then I tried to cheese this last one, and I fell. And when you fall, you drop a logo. Well, no matter, I can handle dropping 1 logo. But what I can't handle is this bowl I jumped into. They don't teach you how to level out and exit, so you're pretty much stuck unless you can trigger a grind on the rim, and good luck doing that. But eventually I did it, and now with 6 logos to my name. What did I say? This is gonna be easy. Alright, let me see if I can jump up here. Okay, so you drop 2 logos after collecting more than 3? Well, now I got them back, so let's get our 7th one. What? Okay, how did I bail? I guess because I didn't keep grinding, but why would they make this platform look wide enough to skate on? Well, just like that I'm back to 5, 6, and we're back to 7 logos. Now let's get our 8th. You've got to be kidding me. And I get reset in front of the bowl. The one possibly good mode in this game, and the developers just had to make it evil. Well, I got back out. Let's grind across this bar and try to get more logo. Down to 3 and back in the bowl. Down to 2 and back in the bowl. I just reset. Let's get a fresh start. Let's get another fresh start. This goddamn game mode took me dozens and dozens of attempts. About half my entire time playing this game was spent here. I would get a couple logos and then some weird geometry or delayed trick would cause me to bail, and I would either attempt to continue from there or I would just reset, since either way I would end up losing more than gaining. Eventually I got 9 logos and things were looking good, but then I fell in the bowl. I tried to grind out, but when you fall with 9 logos, you lose 3? I got back up to 9, and without learning my lesson, I went for the logo on the bar again. Now, let's pause here. What do you think happened? Did you guess that the grind locked onto the rim of the bowl and then collided into the side of the rail and then stopped me midair and caused me to fall straight down onto the side of the bowl, which would then cause me to instantly bail and lose 3 logos? Well, you must be some kind of super genius, cause I didn't think that was gonna happen! Now someone who is less petty than I would probably give up, call the game garbage, and end the review right here. But I had already sunk so much time, I knew it had to be possible. I kept getting so close, and so I kept going, fueled by my ever-growing frustration, until after what felt like a lifetime of trying, I did it. And for all my efforts, what was my prize? The next level, of course. I think I'll pass. Next game mode is called Survival, where you compete with other skaters trying to out-trick them and move on to the next round. I think just by describing it you can guess how it went. And finally, at long last, we have Stunt Mode. And, you know what? It's actually the best mode. Dare I say a good, maybe even fun mode. You're on a linear track with a big jump and a big score you need to beat by pulling off as many tricks as you can. But since the jump is so big, you get plenty of airtime to actually set up combos. And while I assume that it would be even better if it had controlled more like Tony Hawk, I still had a good time here and played through a few more of the levels. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap up our time with this game. Is it a good game? No. Does it have any worth nowadays, or even when it came out? No. That's it. It's just bad. Just so bad.